In this lesson, we will learn how to rearrange quadratic to standard form. In this exercise, we consider equations which are in an unfamiliar form. Our task is to change the form to one we recognize so that we will be able to factorize and solve. So shall we look at the first questions? So here we want to solve 1 plus 5 on x equal to 6 on x squared. And our first task is to change the equation into the standard quadratic form, but we notice that we've got to get rid of the denominator. So I'm going to multiply both sides by what I call the lowest common denominator. So the lowest common denominator for x, and by the way, the denominator here is 1. So the lowest common denominator for this will be x squared, because x squared can go into x squared by 1 and x can go into x squared by x. And of course, 1 can go into x squared by x squared. So we're going to multiply both sides by x squared. All right. So which give us, so I'm going to show you how it works here. We put x squared, you multiply this side by x squared. So on your right hand side, x squared term is missing. So we have 6. On the left hand side, let's expand x squared times 1, which is 1 times, which is x squared, and x squared times 5 over x, which give you 5x. And your next job is to rearrange to make it like a standard quadratic. And now we have a standard quadratic, x squared plus 5x minus 6 equal to 0. Now we want to factorize that, and I believe that you should be able to factorize this easily. So which give us x plus 6, x minus 1. Shall we check whether this is correct? Remember, check the smile, the eyebrow, x times x, which is x squared. Constant term times the constant term should give you the constant term, which is 6 times minus 1, negative 1, which give you negative 6. And then the middle term is 6x plus minus x, which is 5x. So that's correct. So now we can use the what we call null factor law. X plus 6 equal to 0 or x minus 1 equal to 0. And which give you x equal to minus 6 or x equal to 1. We can actually check that these are the correct solution by substitutions. In other words, you can substitute x equal to minus 6 back into the equation to check that they are both equal. I'll just show you one, demonstrate one example for you. Like let's say we start minus 6 into here. 1 plus 5 over negative 6 equal to 6 negative 6 squared, and that will give you 1 over 6, and this side will give you 1 and 6. That shows that your answer is correct. And of course, you can go ahead and check for x equal to 1. All right, the next equation, we have x equal to 5x minus 4 divided by x. Again, we do the same thing. This time we can actually cross multiply. We can actually multiply both sides. You can actually cross multiply, so which lead us, or you can say that you multiply both sides by x. So which give us x squared equal to 5x minus 4. Let's have a look here. And so again, bring it to one side, standard quadratic equations. So and factorize it, which give us x minus 1, x minus 4 equal to 0. Double check the answers after you factorize. It's always good to make sure that you got it correctly. X times x is x squared, minus 1 times minus 4 is 4. Middle term, minus x minus 4x is minus 5x. Again, use the null factor law, which give you x minus 1 equal to 0 or x minus 4 equal to 0. And which give us x equal to 1 or x equal to 4. All right, very good. Okay, our next task is to solve x minus 2 divided by 3 equal to 5 on x. Again, we need to rearrange this. We need to make them look like a standard quadratic form. I can cross multiply, or we can actually multiply both sides by 3x. Okay, So multiply both sides by 3x, multiply this side by 3x, put a bracket, multiply this side by 3x. So 3 and that 3 cancel. On this side, x and x is gone. So we got x squared minus 2x. All right, if I would expand, x squared minus 2x is equal to 15. And bring it to one side, x squared minus 2x minus 15 equal to 0. Now we got to factorize. So let's check x squared, and 3 times minus 5 is minus 15. 3x minus 5x add up together, which give you negative 2x. That means the answers are factorized correctly, and which give x equal to minus 3 or x equal to 5. All right, again, it's used in our factor law. Equate this factor equal to 0, x plus 3 equal to 0, or x minus 5 equal to 0, and solve for x. Again, you can check whether this is correct by substitute x equal to minus 3 back into the equations, and make sure that the left-hand side equal to the right-hand side. The left-hand side answer is the same as the left-hand side. Okay, I think that's about all we have. Oh no, we still have one more questions. All right, this one is slightly more complex, but the concept is the same. We want to rearrange that to look like a quadratic. First task is get rid of the denominator. Again, I'm going to multiply both sides by lowest common denominator. So what's the lowest common denominator for x minus 1 and x plus 2? Well, there's nothing in common, so you multiply the lowest common denominator, sorry, it's not multiple, the lowest common denominator, which is a short form for LCD, will be x minus 1, x plus 2. So put a bracket first before we multiply. Both sides by x minus 1, x plus 2. Your next task is to expand. Okay, so left-hand side, have a look at the left-hand side. We got x minus 1, x plus 2 times that term. So the x minus 1 and x minus 1 cancel each other, and that's how we end up with x plus 1, x plus 2. And you multiply x minus 1, x plus 2 with negative 3 over x plus 2. So x plus 2 cancel each other. So which give you negative 3 times x minus 1. And on your right hand side, it's simply just x minus 1, x plus 2. Now your next task is to expand and collect the like terms. So x times x squared, x times 2x plus 1x is 3x, 1 times 2 is 2, that's correct, minus 3x plus 3, x squared times 2x, sorry, plus 2x minus x, and minus 1 times 2 is minus 2, and we here the x squared term can be cancelled out, and now this is just a linear equations. So which give us minus x plus 5 equal to negative 2, and negative x equal to negative 7, and x equal to 7. I think this is the last one. Thank you for listening.